Hello students, and welcome once again to another session of the poem The Rime of the Ancient Mariner. In my previous lecture, I had given you the introduction of S.T. Coleridge, and today I'll give you a brief introduction of this poem. The Rime of the Ancient Mariner is a poem written in 7 parts by Samuel Taylor Coleridge that first appeared in Lyrical Ballads published collaboratively by Coleridge and William Wordsworth in 1798. And actually this was the beginning of the Romantic era. The publication of Lyrical Ballads actually initiated the Romantic movement in England. The title character, that is the Ancient Mariner, detains one of the 3 young men on the way to a wedding feast and mesmerizes him with the story of his youthful experience at sea. His slaughter of an albatross is a huge bird, the deaths of his fellow sailors, his suffering, and his eventual redemption. On an ice-bound ship near the South Pole, the mariner and his crew are visited by an albatross, considered a favorable omen. The ship breaks free of the ice and sails northwards, followed by the giant bird. And these sailors, they started thinking that this bird is very favorable and it is a very good omen for us, and they enjoyed its company. Then suddenly and inexplicably, that is without any apparent reason, the mariner shoots and kills the bird, bringing a curse upon the vessel. After some confusion, his shipmates vilify him and hang the bird carcass around his neck, यानी उस चिड़िया की डेड बॉडी को, उस बर्ड की डेड बॉडी को उसके गले में बांध देते हैं. The passing of a ghost ship, which is a bad omen, presages the deaths for all the people who were on board, except the narrator. Lost and alone, he marvels at a life-affirming vision in the moonlight, and his prayers of reverence causes the albatross to fall into the sea. Following his rescue, the mariner understands that his penance for his destructive act will be to wander the world recounting his awful story. इसमें यह है कि इनका जो प्रायश्चित या पश्चाताप है इसका, इस नाविक का, mariner is a नाविक, जो the sailor who sails. So the penance for him is to tell the story, this awful story, and wander into the world. And one of the most memorable lines from this poem is an utterance in the stanza 9, "Water, water everywhere, nor any drop to drink." And now I'll give you the detailed summary of the Rime of the Ancient Mariner of Part 1. In the poem's first line, we meet its protagonist, an ancient mariner. Now, what do you mean by ancient mariner? Ancient is not very aged or old. That is, he has become old or wise due to all these sufferings. He is not old in age. Actually, he is not an old doddering person, but he is an ancient mariner. Ancient means that he has a lot of experience with him. That is why he is an ancient mariner. So, he stops one of the 3 people on the way to a wedding celebration, and the leader of the group, that is the wedding guest, tries to resist being stopped by the strange old man with a long grey beard and glittering eye. He explains that he is on his way to enjoy the wedding merriment, and he is the closest living relative of the groom, and the festivities have already begun. But still, the ancient mariner takes his hand and begins his story. The wedding guest has no choice but to sit down on a rock and to listen. The ancient mariner explains that one clear and bright day, he set out on sail on a ship full of happy seamen, yani sailors. They sailed along smoothly until they reached the equator, and suddenly the sounds of the wedding interrupt the ancient mariner's story. The wedding guest beats his chest impatiently as the blushing bride enters the reception hall and music plays. However, he is compelled to continue listening to the ancient mariner who goes on with his tale. Now actually over here this ancient mariner has the spell, एक उसे एक जादुई सा असर होता है उसकी आंखों में, जो ग्लिटरिंग आइज हैं उसकी, उनसे वो कैप्टिवेट कर लेता है, and that wedding guest is unable to leave him and go. So this mariner goes on with his tale and he says, as soon as the ship reached the equator, a terrible storm hit and forced the ship southwards. The wind blew with such force that the ship pitched down in the surf as though it were fleeing an enemy. Then the sailors reached a calm patch of sea that was wondrous cold. That is, they reached the South Pole, full of snow and glistening green icebergs as tall as the ship's mast. The sailors were the only living things in this frightening enclosed world with the ice, where ice made terrible groaning sounds that echoed all around. तो ही सेइंग कि वो एकदम साउथ पोल पे पहुंच गए और कोई भी जीवित प्राणी वहाँ नहीं था एक्सेप्ट these people. Finally, an albatross is a huge bird, emerged from the mist, and the sailors revered it as a sign of good luck, as though it were a Christian soul. तो when albatross appeared, उनको लगा जैसे कि जीसस क्राइस्ट का ही सोल आ गया हो. So they received it as a good omen, and they revered it, they respected it. And they felt that this albatross is a Christian soul which is sent by God to save them. And no sooner did the sailors fed the albatross did the ice break apart. And when they started feeding albatross, the ice started breaking, allowing the captain to steer out of the freezing world. जो बर्फ़ से जो ये लोग रुके हुए थे, तो उसके कारण से जो ये रुकावट थी, it all ended and they started moving. The wind picked up again and continued for 9 days. All the while, the albatross followed the ship, ate the food the sailors gave it, and played with them. At this point, the wedding guest notices that the ancient mariner looks at once grave and crazed. When he reaches this point in the story, suddenly the expression of the ancient mariner or the narrator changes. He exclaims, God save thee, ancient mariner, from the fens that plague thee thus. Why do you look like that? And the ancient mariner says that he shot the albatross with his crossbow. That is, he killed the albatross for no reason, without any reason. He just unnecessarily, without any reason, God knows why, he killed the albatross. And when he kills the bird, as punishment for his crime of killing the albatross, the ancient mariner is sentenced to life and death, condemned to be trapped in a limbo-like state where his glittering eye tells of both powerful genius and pain. He can compel others to listen to his story from beginning to the end, but is forced to do so to relieve his own pain. So, we have completed the first portion of this story. I've given you the summary of the first part. So, in my next session, I'll give you the summary of the second part. Thank you for patient listening. Goodbye.